welcome to the SnowboardProCamp live chat. This is a pretty special one. It's the 50 million view live chat. Just passed 50 million views a couple days ago. So thank all of you guys for following the channel, being subscribed and watching the videos. It's been huge. Can't believe we got to 50 million. That's a huge milestone. Thank you guys so much. The next vlog, I'm going to talk a bit about the 50 million view milestone as well. So that's really cool. So yeah, this is a live stream. I'm back in Whistler. So coming to you guys from Whistler, BC. Had an amazing trip was down in North Star, staying in Reno. Before that was with the Sporter X crew in Mammoth Mountain, staying at Mammoth Lake. So great time, great trips, but back in BC now in Whistler. And yeah, Daniel Z just pointed out on the channel as well that we're almost up to 300K subscribers. So that's pretty incredible. So on this live stream, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. Also, with your question, let me know where you guys are watching from. So, it'd be great to hear. Everyone's, I think, watching from all over, different places all over the world. So let me know where you guys are watching from. Also, recently, it's been really cool meeting lots of fans of the channel in Mammoth, in Reno. And we've got the Europe trip coming up soon as well. So on the 24th, we're flying to London. We're going to be starting off in London. I'm going to go to the ski center there to say hello to some people. And then we're going to head to Austria, to St. Anton, and then to Switzerland, to Lax, and then finally to France, to Avoirieres. So got some trips coming up. And yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's a live chat. It's also a super chat. So if you have a question that you absolutely need answering, hit that super chat button, and that makes your question a priority. And it also helps to support the channel, helps us to support getting new cameras or whatever we need. I hope the sound is better for you guys this time. I kind of was experimenting with my iPhone to get the sound all good. But yeah, thank you guys. So I'm just going to read through some of people's greetings and things. So Blair Smith watching from Scotland. What's up, Scotland? Alex Flynn's asking, best goggles for cloudy days. I think the best goggles are like a really bright colored lens. So like a red or a pink. Each goggle has a very specific lens type. So the Oakleys have the Prism, Smith have Chromopop, and Spy have the Happy Lens. So each company is doing something to really brighten things up. I think we're going to do a comparison day to give you guys the best low light. So we're going to compare some of those goggles. But yeah, like a really light, a yellow, a red, a pink, those colors that work best in low light. Ben Henry watching from Texas. Bose is in St. Anton right now. Stoked for the season. Awesome. Oh, somebody, Chris Coate. I was thinking of becoming a patron, but have no idea how that works. So yeah, we also have a Patreon here at SnowboardProCamp. So if you go to patreon.com/SnowboardProCamp, and what it is a platform where you can help to support us with a monthly donation. So for $3, you get 3 sort of like perks, 3 bonuses. One is we're doing a Patreon-only live chat right after this one. So we do another 30-minute live chat on Patreon. And then we also upload bonus tip videos. So if you need any bonus tips, that's another perk on Patreon. And then the third thing is that we upload exclusive pieces of content that are only for Patreon. So yeah, you get 3 perks for $3, and then it helps us to get things that we need for the channel. All right, so I'm going to read as many questions as I can. There's so many flying by. Omimi Homie, never heard you swear on the channel. Good on you, true Canadian. Yeah, trying to keep it PG on here. Kieran Meadowcroft, when do you get back to Whistler? I'm actually in Whistler now, so even though the videos are on a little slight delay, but yeah, back in Whistler. I know on the vlog yesterday, we were just leaving Mammoth, and then there's another vlog still to come, probably tonight from Reno. But yeah, back in Whistler now. Nick Allen saying hello. What's up, Nick? Himjareya, workouts for new snowboarders to get better. Workouts, like you can do things like squats, lunges, hikes, get on a trampoline. Going to a trampoline center can really help the strength in your legs. Possibly getting a snowboard balance board. So I got the Snowboard Addiction balance board over here. Or you can make one yourself. There's a video on the channel on how to, it's called DIY balance board or snowboard training board. So check that out. So lots of, but squats and lunges and things, those are great ways to get your legs ready for the snowboard season. Lee says hi from Birmingham, England. Leonard asks, do you detune your edges? I don't, and I feel like a lot of park boards and things now come with the edges with either like not so sharp or on angles where you're not going to catch. And TJ is like a good testament to that because TJ is always riding different boards. He never detunes, and he absolutely slays it on the rails. So I think you're good. Zachary Rhodes asks, are you going to Vegas? No plans to go to Vegas right now. We were in Reno, which looks a lot like Vegas. But yeah, there's not much good snowboarding around Vegas. I think there's one slope somebody was talking about. But yeah, we were in Reno, so that's why it looked like we were in Vegas. It's kind of like it's actually a pretty big town. People call it like Little Vegas, but it's pretty big. Swarm asks, what is your favorite board? My favorite board at the moment is this T-Rise Pro. I love the magnet traction. I love magnet traction, and there's lots of fancy words for just kind of like waves along the edge, kind of like making your edge like a serrated bread knife, and it really helps to dig into firm snow, icy snow, so really liking the magnet traction. So a company like Union, they have Grip Tech, which is just it's kind of the same thing. As you kind of get a bump on the edge, and it just helps to dig into the snow. So I'm really liking that. I'm also liking the shape of this board. It's kind of got that twin shape, so for freestyle stuff, but you can also take it into powder. Great board so far. But yeah, there's so many boards out there, it's hard to choose one, and you always want a specific board for the conditions of that day. Awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for the 95 likes. You guys are awesome. So first super chat from Megan Lenoir. Thanks, Megan. When do you upgrade your beginner board? Oh, that's a really good question. I think the best way to upgrade your beginner board is when you find the riding style that you really want to take your riding into. So there's all kinds of different riding styles out there. You might be into carving or just cruising on the groomers. You might be really into park, or you could be super passionate about riding powder. So once you kind of figure out what your riding style is going to be, I feel like that's when you can upgrade your board. Because when you go to buy that first board after your beginner board, it's going to be a bit more specialized towards your riding style. Also, if you just want to upgrade and get something new, maybe your beginner board was kind of like on the lower price scale, and you kind of feel like you've outgrown it, and your skills are starting to progress. Because one thing that happens is when you're a beginner, you're not going to take advantage of everything a board has to offer. But then as your skills progress and you're adding more just like skills to your snowboard toolbox, then you need a board that you can sort of like maximize those skills with, and start to if you're going for an ollie, you want a board that has a good pop in the tail, or if you're getting into carving, a board with good edges. So all those kinds of things that, yeah, your beginner board might not have some of those things. So then once you go to upgrade, you can start to maximize those skills you've been working on. Thanks so much for the super chat, Megan. And Jamie Mulford with a super chat as well. Thanks, Jamie. Hey, Kevin, what's the song in the Mammoth Snowboarding Day 1, the Day of Bales video? I gotta know, it's epic. Awesome, Manuel, that's a really good question. I'll have to actually go into my computer to find that song and then tell you what it is. Maybe what I'll do is, so after this live chat tonight, I'll make a list of, maybe like all the videos up until the last one. with the song names so that you guys can go check them out. But I get all my songs off of SoundCloud, and I look under like the copyright free section. So all the music should be copyright free, and yeah, I just get it off of SoundCloud. So I'll get a list of the recent songs for you, and I'll definitely put the Day of Bales song in there for you. Awesome, man. Thanks so much for the super chat, Jamie. Kieran Dugdale with the super chat. Thanks, Kieran. How much forward lean do you have on your bindings? Great question. So if you guys don't know what forward lean is, so your high back, where you rest your heels, so if this is the back of your snowboard binding, you can adjust it from being straight up and down at 0, and then it usually is on a scale from 0 to 6. So this is 0, then it starts to like tilt forward all the way to 6, and the idea is that when you go to push, like go onto your heel edge, the back of your leg, so if this is your leg, it pushes on the high back and then activates your heel edge. So for people that are really into just having a loose feeling under their board, they'll have it at 0, and you have that really loose feel. And then people that want a lot of performance, like really aggressive heel carving, for example, you want to dial it all the way to a 6. So I like to have mine in the middle. I put mine at like a 4, between like a 3 and a 4, and then I get some performance, but not too much. Because if it's too far forward, sometimes you can kind of feel like you're getting some uncomfortable pressure. And then, yeah, if it's too close to 0, you're not getting very much response. So I set mine to a 3 or 4. Usually when I was teaching snowboarding like in person, the first thing I would do is I would set everyone's high back to a 4, and then it was much easier for them to do the heel turns. So check that out. Thanks for the super chat, Kieran. Yeah, set those high backs to a 4. All right. Awesome, guys. Got 243 people watching. Thank you guys so much. 141 likes. You guys are killing it. And this is the 50 million view live chat. Just passed 50 million views a couple days ago. Huge milestone. Thank you guys so much. It's really awesome. Next up, 100 million, no problem. All right, so another super chat from Big Red. Thanks, Big Red. Best board for a big rider. I'm 310 pounds, 6'5", currently riding an old Burton Series 13 168 and Never Summer Proto 160. Looking for a new free ride or all mountain board. Opinion on Never Summer. Yeah, so my opinion on Never Summer is that the reputation is that they make really high quality boards. I don't know what like the widest one would be for you, but I know that Never Summer boards are made high quality. I was riding the Prototype 2 in a couple laps when I was in Mammoth, and yeah, I really loved it. I don't know if that one comes in a wide version, but yeah, that was a really responsive, felt like a great all mountain / park board. So that's a really cool option. There was a video that I made in Comore recently with Andreas, where we went through a few boards, the whole LibTech and GNU line. And which one did he say? So the LibTech, it was the, somebody help me out on this one. So there was a board there that Andreas actually recommended. It was called the, something crazy. But yeah, if anyone remembers the name of that board, please let Big Red know. But yeah, you just want to go for, so yeah, if you've got larger feet, you want to get a wide board. And then also just always check the weight scale. So the scale, the size of the board, and then how that transfers into your weight. There should be sizing charts with on every website for you out there. So check those out. But yeah, you can definitely find something. And then when I remember the name of that LibTech board, I'll the Skunk Ape, LibTech Skunk Ape. So check that, look into that board, man. And yeah, LibTech Skunk Ape. It's supposed to be built for larger riders, bigger feet, heavier people. So yeah, definitely check that one out. Oh yeah, a few people have already commented too. Skunk Ape. Thanks, Valify. All right. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. All right, Echo Solo. Do you think Surf-anic coats are good for first-time snowboarders. That's a good question. I've never seen a surf-anic coat. I'll definitely have to look into it. Nara says, where are you riding in London? So apparently there's like a indoor ski slope somewhere in London. We're going to I believe on the 24th. So if you guys are in London and you're near the ski center there, we'll let you know ahead of time the dates and time of the meetup. I think we're gonna go and just have like a meetup, hang out at the indoor ski slope, January 24th. The nomadic angler, best bindings to get in and out of quick. Probably the Burton step-ons. Definitely the fastest. Vince Powell Newman, hey Kev, congrats on 50 million views. Thanks, Vince. Yeah, thanks for being a part of it, man. That's awesome. What city of you live in? Because you were always at Whistler, so I'm just curious. Yeah, so I live in Whistler. I'm about a 5-minute walk from the village, not far from Whistler Village here. Valify, Kev, ever skied? I've never, I used to ski. I haven't skied in maybe like 12 years or so. At one point, I was doing both, and then the cost of doing skiing and snowboarding just became too much. So I had to just commit to snowboarding. Awesome. Sorry guys, I had to scroll ahead a bit. Never Ending Vibe says congrats on the, yeah, thanks man, 50 million views. Ryan Lowry, what board would you suggest as the best board for groomed runs and going to the park and hitting jumps and some rails? That's a good question, man. So for hitting groomed runs, like carving, you mean? If you want like a board that can carve and do park, yeah, that's tough. I feel like the best combination for myself for being able to carve and then also being able to hit some park is getting sort of like a rockered board or like a camber rocker hybrid board, which on the groomed is not going to give you the best stability and contact. But if you get something like the Magna Traction or the Grip Tech, those things can help to take a rocker board and make it more like, make it catch the snow better and really help you dig in on those groomers. Then when you take it into the park, the shapes are more forgiving for like spins and doing rail tricks and boxes and things. So I think that combination is the best. So here on the Arbor Westmark rocker, it's fully rockered, but then it's got those like the Grip Tech bumps, which just help to carve on the groomers. So a type of board that has that combination. Awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So Josh Barton, is there any chance you can start doing some giveaways of snowboard gear? That would be awesome. Yeah, maybe at some point. It's so difficult to do giveaways because just been super busy, and also with like everyone's watching from around the world, so it's hard to ship stuff to the other side of the planet. But yeah, we'll have some giveaways at some point for sure. Tangeta, what are your binding angles and stance width? So I'm pretty tall, so my stance width is a bit wider. I just generally try to make it a little bit wider than my shoulders. So not too wide, not too narrow. And I kind of like, as I'm setting it up, I kind of gauge too, like I get on my board and feel if it's comfortable. Being able to bend my knees is the most important thing, so just getting a comfortable stance. And then my angles are usually plus 15 in the front, minus 15 in the back. That's my park stance. But if it's a powder day and I'm gonna be riding mostly in one direction, I'll do 15 in the front and negative 9 in the back. And I'll also, on a park day, my stance will be like centered on my board. And then on a powder day, I'll move my stance back towards my tail. All right, so super chat from Paul O. Thanks so much, Paul. Hi, Kevin. Just a little donation for your Euro trip. Awesome. Since TJ wasn't able to get German beer here in Park City, maybe this can go towards that. Awesome, Paul. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm guessing that you Did you meet up with TJ in Park City? That's pretty cool. He was looking for some German beers. Nice. Yeah, when we're in Europe, I'm sure we'll have 1 or 2 beers along on our trip. Europe is renowned for having good beer, so thanks a lot for the super chat, man. And yeah, if you guys don't know, TJ and I will be riding together again starting next. So our trip starts, I think, next Wednesday, the 24th, if that's the 24th. And we're doing like a 16-day Euro trip. All right, so Shariah, when you guys move your stance back, how much are we talking here? Like a couple inches? Thanks. So on a park day, I actually kind of like all the way back. So the back foot is as far back as it can go. And then the front foot just kind of comes along so that it keeps that same width as I would be riding normally. So yeah, put that back foot all the way as far as it'll go towards the tail for those powder days. So it's Evo. What board do you ride? So the 2 boards I've been riding most often, trying to get the feel of them, trying to get used to them, are the Arbor Westmark Rocker and the LibTech T-Rise Pro. Also got the No Bad Day Ambition board to ride some more. It's like a really aggressive carving board. And yeah, the Solomon Huck Knife, that was my favorite park board, but trying to test out some different boards just to get the hang of it. And then yeah, the Yes 420, really fun powder board. Awesome, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. So Zoya Chaudhary, what are your favorite slopes? I think, yeah, powder slopes are probably the best. Anything with, like, deep powder. Or, you know, park days are fun, too, though. Jason Kotu, what is your favorite mountain of all time, or one you dream of going to? So I think even after this last trip, Whistler is still the best mountain. It's just so big. There's so much space, so many different runs, terrain to explore. So Whistler's my favorite mountain. I think like a sort of dream destination and something that we're kind of working on too is a Japan trip. I feel like the different culture, the different scenery, everything like that would make a trip to Japan pretty special. It's also got it's also notorious for getting tons of snow. So yeah, that'd be like sort of the dream destination. All right, so Matthew Cooper, shout out to Melbourne, Australia. Awesome, man. What's up, Melbourne? Nara 25th Freestyle Night at Hemel. Okay, cool. Oh, on the 25th, they have the Freestyle Night at Hemel. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that. Awesome, guys. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. 184 likes. Yeah, 50 million view live chat. So just passed it a couple days ago. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Lachlan Hubbard, hey Kevin, love your videos. What snowboarding difficulty did you teach, and what was the best thing about teaching that snowboarding difficulty? Awesome question. So I taught like a whole range from very beginner all the way through to like the most advanced lessons here in Whistler. Probably earlier on in my like snowboard career, I was teaching more, more beginners, more intermediate. And then as I became more experienced, I started teaching more of the higher levels. And that kind of became the thing I did the most, was teach like at the highest levels. And it's definitely my favorite because that's when you're like really pushing yourself and taking students into like either really difficult terrain, which was a lot of fun, or into the park to try new tricks. Definitely my favorite thing would be like on a powder day. What I used to do all the time was if I had a group of advanced riders, we would just ride around the mountain and find like the biggest cliffs to jump off of. So here in Whistler, there's just tons of cliff areas, tons of like cornices and things like that. So what I would typically do is bring them into a cliff area, and then there would always be like options of how like you wanted to drop off the cliff. So you could either take it off of the biggest point, which would maybe be like 15 to 20 feet at the most, but then it would always like go all the way down. So you could kind of like, depending on how confident you're feeling, you could maybe take it at 10 feet or take it at 5 feet, or even just, if you weren't feeling it, just go around. And so typically what I would do is I would go off first, I would, test out the landing, or, usually what the landing is going to be like, depending on how much snow there was. But yeah, go off the cliff, test it out, and then sort of, from the bottom, guide everyone down. And that was probably the most fun, was high levels, and then, yeah, doing those powder days, taking students off cliff drops. Awesome. So Sawyer, Vradenberg, Kevin, how do you do turns better on your toes? Yeah, toe turn, that's one of the most difficult. The reason that toe turn is difficult is because when you're snowboarding, it's intimidating to turn your back to the bottom of the mountain. So heel turn is really easy because you're facing the bottom, your shoulders are facing the bottom, you're looking down, you're sliding on your heels. But it's actually, you have better balance on your toes. Like, just think about if you're like reaching up to grab something high, you don't stand up onto your heels, you lean up onto your toes. So your balance on your toes is much better. It's just hard to turn your back. So the number one tip, I would say, or a couple tips, first, don't try to do the toe turn too quickly. Let it come around slowly. So yeah, just letting it come around gradually. But when you do commit to the toe turn, commit with your whole body. So turn your board, but then also turn your hips, your shoulders, and your head all to the top so everything turns together. Awesome, guys. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. This is super cool. Almost 200 likes, 194 likes. Thanks, guys. What to invest in first, boots or board? This is from Glenn Jansen. And rent the other while saving some more. Yeah, I would say the first thing you want to buy is probably boots, because if you can get some really comfortable boots that fit you properly, then that's gonna set you up to have a really good experience. If you have a really nice board but you have to rent boots, then if you get into a bad pair of rental snowboard boots, it can kind of ruin your day. So yeah, check out boots first. Nick Allen says hello. What's up, Nick? Gooby, hey Kevin, I have just begun snowboarding and I'm looking to purchase the Burton Ripcord. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I haven't ridden the Burton Ripcord before, but yeah, if it's on the lower end of the price scale, then I would say it's probably a good beginner board. Also, so the things you want to look for a beginner is definitely lower price scale, because you're not going to use all the features of those expensive boards. Also, something that has the reverse camber on the nose and tail. So basically what reverse camber means is that the board lifts away from the snow, and that's just going to make it more catch-free. So if the Burton Ripcord has that, then you're all good. So Dale Morin, watching from Maine, US. Love your videos, and do you have any extra tips for doing a front three and end lip slides? So for the front three, yeah, I feel like I've put out so many tips out there across so many different videos, but I can kind of give you a good recap. First, on the front three, you want to be carving in on a bit of an edge on your heels, which is kind of hard to pop off of, but yeah, the heel edge is definitely the way to go. Not too aggressively, sort of like a slight heel carve, and then when you go to pop the three, you got to pop straight up into the air. The more straight up you can get, that means that when you're coming down for the landing, you'll be coming down nice and straight as well. And then, yeah, pop off with both feet level, so you're getting your board straight up into the air nice and level. The hard part with the front three, I think, is the wind up and rotation, because you kind of have to wind your body back. So maybe yeah, get some practice doing 180s first, but yeah, kind of you wind up and then wait until you get to the lip, and then do that even pop as you rotate forward. And yeah, just keep your head looking around. When you keep your head looking around, that's when the front three will come around for you. Awesome, guys. All right, so Blake Sawstrand with the super chat. Thanks, Blake. I didn't forget about you, man. Hey, Kevin, I just got the Burton Fish with Genesis bindings. Awesome setup. That's the same setup that Doug has. And I'm super pumped. How different is it to ride? Is it riding a powder board? Is it a quick learn? I actually feel like, yeah, it's probably going to take you a couple days to get used to it. I know that for myself, yeah, when I went on to the Yes 420, kind of a similar shape, but I really had to train my brain not to lean back so much and to kind of get more of a level stance on that powder board, because it's just going to help you to float on top of the snow much easier without having to lean back. I know that Doug, some of the videos over the channel over the past year, I've had Doug in them, and he's been riding the Burton Fish with the Genesis bindings as well. And I know the first couple days, he was kind of concerned that he didn't like the setup because it was so different. But there was a point, maybe 3 or 4 days into riding the board, that it really clicked for him, and he was like raving about how much he loved it. And yeah, the last time I talked to him, he was really loving riding the Fish with the Genesis binding. So I think the progression is going to take you a couple of days to get used to it. But yeah, the things that'll feel different is you gotta just keep your weight a little bit more level. You don't need to lean back as far. And it's also going to turn much quicker than your previous boards. So just, get used to that, being able to maneuver your board a lot faster, especially through trees. You're going to find that while you're riding through trees, you're going to be able to snake your way through much easier. And then also going to pop your board into the air, like a jump or something, you're sort of more popping from underneath your feet. You're not loading up your tail because you don't really have a tail. So it kind of everything comes from underneath your feet. So yeah, I think you're gonna love it. Yeah, it'll probably take a couple of days to get used to. And yeah, Blake, thanks for the super chat, man. Biking with Panda with the super chat. Thanks, Biking with Panda. Do you mountain bike at Whistler too? I'm a mountain biker. I'm in Ontario, but going to try snowboarding for the first time tomorrow. Overwhelmed, but excited. Awesome, yeah, well, if you're into mountain biking, I feel like snowboarding is pretty different, but it's kind of like the same process. You know, you're getting all your gear on, you go into the lift, and then you're going down the run. I feel like you may find it even maybe a little bit less intimidating than your first day on a mountain bike, because you have lots more room. You're kind of not limited to a single track. So it's a bit more, go wherever you want to on the run. But yeah, you're still going to be getting ready. Maybe some of your protective gear you can wear on your first day of snowboarding, like if you have, I don't know, mountain bike crash pants or something, protect your tailbone. But yeah, I feel like in Ontario as well. So one thing to be aware of is the snow conditions, I guess kind of like mountain bike conditions too, where you get different kinds of dirt depending on how dry it is or how wet. You can also sort of think about that with snowboarding too. If it's going to be icy or the snow's going to be soft, that can kind of dictate of how much you want to push yourself and how much you want to learn. If the snow conditions aren't good, then just, take your time. If the snow conditions are really good, maybe push yourself a little bit more. But yeah, have fun with it. I used to do mountain biking here in Whistler about 10 years ago, but it just became too expensive. And I started focusing more and more of my time strictly onto snowboarding, especially since doing the YouTube channel. But yeah, mountain biking here in Whistler is pretty epic. I think it's probably maybe the premier destination in the world to mountain bike. So if you like snowboarding and you like mountain biking too, man, move to Biking with Panda. Move to Whistler. Come on out. You get the best of both worlds. Thanks so much for the super chat. Awesome. So Dom 2K17, any tips on riding tight skinny routes with high drops on the sides? Yeah, definitely. That can be really intimidating, especially beginner intermediate riders when you're on those narrow flat runs. I would say if you're concerned, kind of plan your escape. So if you're riding and you're getting too much speed, what I like to do is just do the heel side stop. So yeah, so if you're riding down and you're kind of feeling a bit off, just have that emergency sort of brake where you can just turn to your heels, slow yourself down, get in control. But other than that, when you're riding on really narrow runs, you kind of want to rock from your heels to your toes. So being on your toes for a long time, having that toe edge in, and then slowly rocking onto your heels, and yeah, kind of making your turns predictable too. so that the people behind you like know where you're going. But if you can like rock from your heels to your toes, that's really good. And then also keep your shoulders matching what your hips and your board are doing, so that you don't get twisted. If you start to get twisted as you ride, so what I mean by that is like your shoulders are turning one way and your board is turning the opposite, that's when you can kind of get off balance and catch an edge. So try to keep everything square, rock from your heels to your toes, and then have an escape route. So have a way that you can stop to stay safe. And then, yeah, if there's like a big cliff on one side, just ride closer to the other side. And take your time too. Let people like go past you. Osvaldo Gracia, when are you planning to come to Colorado? So yeah, I've been wanting to go to Colorado. So far the snow down there hasn't been very good, so it hasn't been very tempting to book a trip. But yeah, I've got a place to stay down there with TJ. There's also a few other snowboard YouTubers down there. Ryan Napton and Jonathan Buckhouse, those guys are down there making snowboard videos and vlogs, so it'd be great to meet up with all those guys and do some snowboard videos together. I know that David Jones is going to be down there at some point, so it would be great to all meet up for snowboard vlogger day down in Colorado. But I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted. Rati Mad says, how do I super chat on an iPhone? I'm not really sure. I don't even know if you can exactly. If people can like maybe check, let Roddy know if there's a way to do a super chat on the iPhone. You may only be able to do it from laptops, but that would be a good thing to check out. If you could do it from a mobile phone or certain phones or only in a laptop, that'd be good to know. Harold O, I watched the Burton step-on video, but I was still wondering how effective they are when stepping on in powder. Yeah, that's actually a good point, and that'd be like a good video for us to make in the future. Take the Burton step-ons up in a powder day and put them to the test in like deep snow to see like how difficult it is to like click them in if the base is like filled up with snow. But I feel like with any binding, you kind of run into problems when there's too much snow packed in there, just like getting the binding to fit on. So like, you know, most of the time I try to keep my footbed completely clear of snow. But I guess with the step-ons, there could be other issues with just like the heel thing clicking in or wherever. So maybe that'll be another test video for the step-ons. Honestly, my first impressions of the step-ons are really positive. While riding, I didn't feel like I was like losing any kind of performance. If anything, I kind of felt like I gained a bit more contact, like that becoming one with the board. It felt a bit better, so that was really cool. There is kind of like a weird clicking sound that can happen as you ride, but that's only kind of when you're staying still. Once you get moving, you can't hear the clicking sound. And I think as long as you get the right boots for the step-ons, the ones that are like comfortable, then you're gonna be set. So there's another video that I'm putting up tonight that has some more info on the step-ons. But yeah, we need to take them out in different conditions, like a powder day would be perfect. All right, so Matt Miniaki's on the super chat, live chat. What's up, Matt? And Matt says, yee, I made it, Kev, 50 million views. That's insane. Thanks, Matt. You'll get there someday too, man. Just keep plugging away. You're absolutely killing it with the videos, man. And yeah, I'm always tuning in, so keep them coming. Keep up the daily uploads. It's awesome. You just got to be persistent and do what you love, man. Make the videos you love, and yeah, it's coming through. Good work, man. Never Ending Vibes, what bindings do you recommend for beginners? So good beginner bindings, I feel like, yeah, just go to bindings at the lower price point. You're not going to really use all the performance and tech at those higher level bindings. So yeah, start out with something at a lower price point and go from there. But yeah, you can't really go wrong with bindings. If you go with one of the like leading brands, and like now bindings, Union, Burton, there's lots of good ones out there, so just check them out. Do you like Whistler? So Xander Malcolm, do you like Whistler or Blackcomb Mountains more? So I lean towards Blackcomb Mountain for a few reasons. Maybe I shouldn't give away all the secrets, but here we go. Blackcomb is typically a bit quieter than Whistler. So if it's a busy day and the lines look big, go check out Blackcomb. Just less people go to Blackcomb probably because it's not called Whistler, so people stay away a little bit more. But yeah, that's one thing. Also, Blackcomb, I find the terrain is a bit more consistent. It's like more consistently slanted, where Whistler kind of has like, you know, steep and then flat and then steep and then flat and more cat tracks and things. So I like Blackcomb better. Definitely though, had some amazing days on Whistler. Whistler's amazing too. And the peak chair is incredible. Harmony area is incredible. And hiking over to Flute. So all those kinds of things are really fun on Whistler too. Awesome, guys. So Reza says he needs a cup of tea. Just pause and grab one, man. Connor Hawkins, if you could live in one ski town anywhere in the world, where would you live? Man, Whistler, probably in Whistler. Whistler is a pretty cool ski town. The cool thing with Whistler is that we've got 2 massive mountains, and then we also have the town is like right at the base. So you can, from where you ride out, you can just take off your board, walk right into the town. You've got everything there, grocery store, just pretty much anything. And then from there, depending on where you live in like sort of the suburbs of Whistler, you may need a car or you can take the bus. So it's a very convenient place to live. The only problem with Whistler is they're not building enough housing. And they have all these excuses of why they're not, but they need to build more houses because more and more people want to live here. In Motion SLB, March is usually the best conditions with that sun out. Yeah, spring snowboarding can be pretty awesome, yeah, once the snow's out. Rain Freak 100, is buttering on the T-Rice Pro possible? Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons I bought it, because the rocker shape allows you to definitely do some butters pretty easy. It's a funny combination. It's rocker, but it's also got like a kind of like a firm flex to it. So you can get into a press, but you're not gonna like over press it. You're not gonna like sink into it like a noodle. It allows you to press into it, but then once you get into the press, you feel the board flex and you feel that stiffness. So that's a good combination. Can definitely do some butters on the T-Rise Pro. But I think compared to the Arbor Westmark rocker, the Arbor Westmark is probably softer. Actually, that'd be a good video to make too, comparing different flexes and which one is the easiest to butter. All right, so Tyler Morrison, hi Kevin, I ride regular and I was just wondering why I keep catching my front left edge when doing heel turns. I love the videos. So if you're catching your front left edge on your heel turn, then you may be trying to turn too quick. So when you try to turn too quick, what happens is, yeah, your board is just like sliding from one edge to the other really quickly, and then you can start to catch pieces. So try to like smooth it out, make it more gradual. So if you're on your toes, start to travel on an angle first. So you're traveling on an angle like forward on an angle, and then slowly let your board go straight, and then get onto that new edge. So I think if you smooth it out, you can even count in your head to make the turns even and slow them down a bit, and then you'll stop catching edges. Cap Squirrel, is there any different gear from skiing to snowboarding? Yeah, I think like in terms of the apparel and like outerwear, there's different styles skiing to snowboarding. I feel like snowboard gear usually fits a little bit looser, probably because of the stance. And also the jackets are a little bit longer because if you're sitting down in the snow, it's nice to have your back, everything covered down there. So yeah, I feel like snowboard gear is a little bit looser, and also snowboard style has more influence from skateboarding and surfing. So where skiing is kind of like doing its own thing, its own style, it's got its own history. Snowboarding pulls a lot of things out of skateboarding and surfing. So you get more influences from that. Awesome, guys. Just want to say thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been super fun. And yeah, 235 likes. Thank you guys so much. Also, yeah, we just passed 50 million views on the channel a couple of days ago. So thank you guys all for being a part of that. That's incredible. 50 million views has kind of been a goal for quite a while. And yeah, it's really awesome to reach it. I think last year at this time we had about 25 million. So doubled the views in one year. So that's pretty incredible. So thank you guys all so much. And I got a vlog coming out tonight too, where I might talk a bit more about the 50 million views. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. 244 likes. And Nate Brunner with the super chat. Thanks, Nate. Tip for all the great vids. Hope all is well. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Nate, for the tip there. Really appreciate it, man. Michael K, how do you donate? I don't know if you can donate from a smartphone and from I think you can from a laptop for sure. Right beside where you like type in your question, there should be like a little symbol for the super chat. Carlos Fatchim, congrats from Brazil. Amazing vids. Awesome. Thanks, Carlos. Kakper Pastwa, what age were you when you started snowboarding and where? So I started snowboarding when I was 15. I would go with my like local school. I think every Tuesday night they had like a ski/snowboard night. And yeah, I'd go every Tuesday, and that's how I learned. Just some of my friends from high school were there, and yeah, it was a great time. So I was 15. All right, just gonna block a couple of people. Sorry, guys. Hey, shout out to Kaiser. Thanks for tuning in, man. So, Shariah, do you get help editing? Seems like a ton of work for one person. Awesome videos. So when Chris had his knee 100%, shout out to Chris. Hope you're feeling better, man. He was helping with some videos with the editing, and so that was a good help. But yeah, before Chris got on board, and yeah, for the first like 6 years of the channel, I was doing all the videos, all the editing. Most of the videos that I'm in, I'm doing 100% of the editing. But the videos that TJ puts up, he does the editing, TJ. So all the like board reviews and some of the videos that are like TJ's projects, he does all the editing for those. Yeah, but other than that, it's mostly me. So yeah, Blake asks, how is Chris doing? Is he all healed? So there's kind of like some mixed news about Chris. So he doesn't need surgery on his knee, so that's pretty cool. He's just got some days of physio ahead of him and kind of like rehabbing. So yeah, let's send Chris some well wishes. Hopefully his rehab and everything goes well and he gets back on his snowboard. I don't think he'll be on his snowboard this season. I think it'll probably be like later on, maybe in July or August. But yeah, when he's back, we'll get Chris onto the next snowboard trip. Nara, would you recommend a rocker for a beginner? I kind of like the hybrid, like the combo. So I like camber under feet and then rocker in the nose and tail. And that way you get some, so what the camber does is it helps to keep you more stable and helps you stay in a bit better control. So that's why I like camber like between your feet and under your feet. But then the rocker in the nose and tail helps to make your turns more catch-free. So you're not catching as you go to make a turn. So I like that combination. All right, so Michael K, tips for traveling to Whistler, and can we meet up? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can definitely do a meetup. So tips for traveling to Whistler. I guess if you're arriving into the Vancouver airport, there's like quite a few different shuttles and buses and things that run directly from the airport to Whistler. I would say check that out and book one of those ahead of time because it's pretty convenient to be able to just jump on the bus straight away from the airport. Other than that, I don't know. Just like book in advance. I think the further in advance you can book it, the cheaper it can be. If you're trying to save lots of money and do it as cheaply as possible, I think there's a couple different bus options that you can do that leave from the city. So you take like there's like a kind of like a above ground subway or like monorail that runs from the airport to downtown. I think that's like $8, and then from Vancouver you can get on to like Vancouver City Center. You can get on a few different buses that are a bit cheaper. All right. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. So we're going to do about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to flip over to the Snowboard Pro Camp Patreon page. So it's patreon.com/SnowboardProCamp. And for $3, you get 3 perks, which include, exclusive live chats, another 30 minutes. And yeah, that just helps to support the channel and keep us creating these videos. Noah Demmer, top 3 places to snowboard. Top 3 places that I've been to. Number 1 would be Whistler. Number 2, Mount Bachelor in Oregon. And number 3, Mammoth Mountain, California. Those are my top 3 so far. All right, so ALSWN23, currently looking for a new board. Any tips for intermediate to advanced riders? Yeah, definitely. First, like, just think about the style of riding that you really do. So whether it's carving or park or whatever, and then try to get the board that matches your riding style the best. And then from there, like, go in and talk to somebody in a shop if you can. Or you can check out, so recently I put up a video with Andreas from Comor. It's called, I think it's called just like how to buy a new snowboard. But check out that video. It's, I think it's about 2 weeks old. And we go through like some different types of boards, what to look for. So yeah, you can either watch that video with Andreas and get some advice, or find your own Andreas at your local shop. But yeah, check that out. All right, Rob VB, do you use Oakley Flight Decks XM or the larger one? So I use the larger one. My face and head are a bit large or extra large. My helmet is large, and I have to take out all the padding so that my head will fit. So yeah, I just use the regular Flight Decks. They're pretty big, but they definitely have the best like field of view. If you've got like, yeah, a medium or small size face or head, check out the Flight Deck XMs. Awesome, guys. Lots of great questions. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So love, hate, love with the super chat. Thank you. Hi, Kevin. I'm riding goofy, but after an hour or 2, my right knee starts aching, forcing me to stop. I tried warming up, but it doesn't help. Got any tips? Yeah, definitely. Try adjusting your stance. So on this last trip, our friend from Sporter X, Tyler, at one point his bindings slid out to be like really wide. And the first thing he did was he was complaining about pain in his right knee. And so my first thought was, what's your stance set to? And yeah, that's when we found out that his stance had just slid out to be too wide. So play around with your stance, maybe narrow it a little bit, maybe change the angles. So I ride at 15 and -15 and have my stance just a little bit wider than my shoulders. So yeah, play around with that. I think that's definitely the problem, is your stance. It's either too wide, too narrow, or the angles are just at angles that make your knees unhappy. So hope that helps. And yeah, thank you for the super chat. Lissandro Mendoza, you planning a trip to Chile? No plans to travel to Chile at the moment, but yeah, if anyone out there has any hookups, like with all these trips, we're trying to do it on the best, like on a budget, because we don't have a ton of money to do these trips and travel. So if anyone out there knows of somewhere we can stay or help with lift tickets or anything like that, please send us an email, snowboardprocamp@gmail.com. And yeah, maybe we can travel to Chile if we can promote hotels in exchange for stays or things like that. We're trying to work out a trip to Japan at the moment. That would be pretty incredible. Our friend Kaiser from Dubai is possibly going to help us out with some accommodation when we travel to Dubai. So yeah, if anyone can help us out with a couch to sleep on or a spare room, then that would be great for helping us with our travel plans. And the Gaming Fig says, you going to come down to Australia anytime soon? I have the hookup. Yeah, definitely. I think we're traveling to Australia in like August. So if you have some hookups in Australia, that would be incredible. We have the same pass that works in Whistler, the Epic Pass, I guess works at Perisher as well. But if you have any other hookups, that would be cool. Place to crash, that would be huge. Maybe, yeah, shoot us an email, snowboardprocamp@gmail.com, if, yeah, you can help out at all. Lucifer Morningstar, hey, Kevin, hopefully meeting you on Thursday at Hemmel. Is TJ coming? Yeah, TJ's coming, so we'll both be there. Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday, Lucifer. Tyler Morrison, have you ever gone to Utah? No, not yet. Bente H, I would like to become a snowboard teacher in about 2 years, but I can't speak German smoothly. Is it possible to become one in Canada or somewhere else without speaking German? Yeah, definitely. So you don't need to speak German to become a snowboard teacher in Canada or somewhere else. Yeah, so if English is your first language, then come on over to Canada or the US and become a teacher. So Jalen Martin, how's the snowboarding in Washington State? Yeah, I think Washington probably has some of the best snowboarding. There's lots of places kind of like east of Seattle that have some pretty good mountains. Lots of snow. I think it's kind of like heavier, sort of similar to Whistler, but there's, yeah, definitely some good stuff in Washington. So Nara says that they can hook me up in London. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to be in London. We've got places to crash at the moment, but yeah, we're going to be heading to the ski zone or ski center there. Pyotr Jurchek, have you gotten a chance to ride the Warpig? I haven't gotten a chance to ride it yet because it's actually a pretty small board for me. I think it's a little bit too short, but TJ has a couple of videos on the Warpig. So he's got like a full review on the channel, and he's also got a powder video. So maybe check out some of those reviews that TJ's done on the Warpig. He really loves it. I think it's great for powder, great for carving, sort of like a great do everything kind of board. Awesome, guys. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Recently passed 50 million views. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. Really appreciate it. So far, this has been the best year for Snowboard Pro Camp. Super pumped. Honestly, my favorite part of this year is these live chats too. It's so much fun talking to you guys, answering questions, and gotten to know a lot of the people that tune in every week. If you guys want to tune into the live chat every week, you can hit the subscribe button and then also hit the bell beside the subscribe button, because then you'll get notifications every time we go live. So yeah, hit that bell, and then it'll also let you know every time we upload a video. So if you want to be among the first people to comment, yeah, get the notifications. Yeah, it helps us out too. The more people watch early and comment, the better the video ranks. So that's pretty cool. Justin Kim, which board is better for beginners, Arbor or Burton? Ooh, I think like both have good beginner boards. It's hard to say which one is better than the other. Rob VB, what is your opinion on the Scott Stevens Capita snowboard for park? Yeah, I'd imagine that it's very jib friendly, so it's probably soft and really great for jibbing, because that's what Scott Stevens' specialty is. So if you're into rails, boxes, fun butter tricks, things like that, I feel like that would be the board for you. Camden Ritchie, what is the best snowboarding pants? So far, my favorite pants are the bib pants, my Dekind Y East pants. They did send them to me for free, so that was really cool. But I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the bibs or not, and I really, really love wearing bib pants. So all my pants in the future are gonna be with the bib, and yeah, you just feel like really free. So and the only pair I've tried out so far were the Y Yeast bib pants by Dakine. So shout out to Dakine for sending me over those. Dakine in Germany. So thanks, Dakine shop in Germany. Very cool. But yeah, those are my favorite. Love, hate, love. Why can't you do these chats earlier in the day? It's like 1:30 a.m. in Holland. Sorry about that. It's hard to get the time zones perfect for everyone. Awesome, guys. So we're going to go for about 5 more minutes on the live chat here. Coming up over an hour, but I'm going to do another 30 minutes on Patreon. So if you guys want to hop over onto Patreon after this is done, yeah, we're doing on Patreon. It's just a good way to support the channel. So there's 3 kind of perks that we offer over on Patreon for $3. So if you guys are down for that, come hang out on Patreon. Lawson Adams asks, how do you get sponsored? Wow, that's a tough one. It's you're probably asking the wrong person, because getting a sponsor seems to be like impossible. It's really tough. But I would say the thing you got to do is be winning contests. I think that helps. Get onto social media. So build your Instagram, build your YouTube, all that kind of stuff. But I would say, like, maybe most importantly is you gotta like get to know some people that do the sponsoring. So become friends with some of the higher ups. So go into maybe work for a shop. If you work for a snowboard shop, that's probably the best way. And then become friends with the higher ups. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. 275 likes. Thanks, guys. That's huge. Nick Pullman, what are your favorite snowboard tricks? Oh, man, it's changing so much. Recently just getting into some backside spins. Those have been really fun. Also, riding with TJ. TJ is like a big inspiration for tricks. And yeah, getting some of the front and back boards, getting those going have been a lot of fun too. So those are my favorite at the moment. So Julian Mateo, Burton Process 2018 is a good option, question mark. Any alternatives? Yeah, so the Burton Process is kind of like a good park board / freeride board. I feel like it's a little bit softer too. It's not too stiff. So it's, yeah, you can do butters on it. I think the Solomon Huck knife is probably a comparable board to that one as well. So yeah, it's kind of like a good intermediate park board. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Catch free, and yeah, good for jibbing, good for jumps. Ryan Lowry, No Bad Day Max Pro Signature Model Ambition board. Yep, that's the one up there. Very aggressive, full camber, really good at carving. I think it'd be really good on big jumps to make you feel stable, but very aggressive board. I'm kind of like intimidated by it, to be honest. Awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Yeah, if you guys want to come on over to the extra 30 minutes of live chat, head over to Patreon. Yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. The 50 million view live stream. Yeah, it's been quite the ride. 50 million views. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for all your questions and super chats. It's been great. And yeah, we're also going to do one on Monday. So TJ does his live chat every Monday, which is more board focused. So if you have any questions about snowboards, check out TJ Monday. So I believe it's 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, we try to do these every Friday. And while we're in Europe, we'll be doing more live streams as we go too, and fan meetups as well. So thank you guys all for watching. If you guys are watching this in the replay, leave your questions below, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. And yeah, we'll see you guys over on Patreon for everyone that can make it. Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Oh, last minute super chat from Bimmerman. Thanks so much, Bimmerman E36M3. And Bimmerman says, Eurotrip loot. looking to book a late season trip to Whistler. What's a good way to help my wife be less intimidated by the big mountain vibe? You know what? Just tell her that most people that come to Whistler are in the same boat. Most people here are just, they're beginner or intermediate riders. Most people that show up to lessons are beginner or low intermediate. And most of the people on the mountain are just beginner riders. So everyone's in the same boat. You know, the locals are some like really high-end skiers, and you might have some high-end people coming up. But the majority of people in a mountain town are just like your wife. They're like, you know, they come to have a good time, not too serious about skiing or snowboarding, and it's just casual. So I hope that helps. And thanks for the super chat. All right, thanks guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.